was pretty happy.
Moving on, what do we got next for beyond, or are there any other issues beyond the first third where we're kind of setting up what is to come, and to the point where Tony actually figures out, hey, I figured out time travel in 1 second.
Up until then, so I really enjoyed that first third. I love the Nebula and Tony scene. I mean, bringing that robotic, non-human feel to the happy-go-lucky main Marvel guy that we've all grown up to love. Those two just talking it out and playing the little football game in their ship. Love the entire scene. Nebula is just, she's not a warm type of person that Tony interacts with ever. So I enjoyed that. I love the Scott Lang and Cassie reunion. I thought that was so pure and exactly the type of reaction people would have. And to your point, you really feel like these people lost people. Like, you really feel, holy crap, Cassie seeing her dad, you see the neighborhoods run down, the kid, I mean, it's just all not good. And they have a reunion, and that moment was awesome for me. The intro with Hawkeye, like, and that simple intro, love that. Leading up to them going, it was great. Before Tony figures out time, right? I appreciated Tony being pissed off at Cap at the beginning of the movie, and I'm a little bit confused as why he's that skinny. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's been
23 days.
23 days, and he loses 40 pounds. I mean, do they have nothing on the ship? I don't know, but I mean, he looked like a scrawny piece of shit. I'll tell you that. But overall, up until then, I was 100% happy with how the movie was going.
Right. No, it was great first third. As the points we already hit. The problems came into the second act. And that's where, if you saw our previous video, I had concerns with the time travel aspect, and then everything went a little off the rails there. Go.
All right, so moving on to my next point. So I hope you guys saw our previous video where we gave our initial hopes and expectations of Avengers Endgame. And in that video, me and Amanda called it, and we put the nail on the head when we said there was no fucking way and no possible reason why Tony Stark, Spider-Man, Strange, anybody could have just cut off Thanos' head. Am I wrong?
Yep, that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to see, okay, as long as they explain to us in the movie, there's out of 14 million ways, this was the only way, right? Only way. Well, they didn't show us anything that they could have just cut off his hand. In the very first scene when they reunite with Thanos, pretty much, and they meet him in the garden, they learn their lesson and realize, okay, we should cut his hand off. Cuts his hand off. So that just means that they realized that they messed up in the first movie, and they should have done it from the jump. No. That's it. Should have done it from the jump.
Erroneous on all accounts. Okay.
Give me one. Okay, give me one reason why.
If you go to that video, I also said you're not gonna get the explanation in this movie. The line was summed up. It was the only way. That was the writers saying again. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, so I understand that, but. That line by Doctor Strange in Infinity War says, this is the only way we must proceed. Any other possible things, put it out of your mind.
Right.
So I want to get... I said you're not ever going to get the explanation. This is a 3-hour movie, and it went by so fast, I don't got time for that to explain every possible scenario.
So you're telling me that you are going to fucking drink the Kool-Aid on whatever the writer tells you in one line, and then be forced to sip that Kool-Aid for the rest of the movie? Is that yes or no?
Yes, because it's the writer's show, and I'm there for the ride, and I appreciate that they actually stuck the Doctor Strange line in there. It would be bad writing if they didn't. Strange didn't say it's the only way.
I'm fine with accepting it in Infinity War. I'm not fine with them not seeing the why behind it and the logic in an Endgame.
No, I know they did it in Endgame, but it was whatever. It was after the fact, and then just did it. Then it doesn't mean that that it would have resulted in something else different in Infinity War. Doesn't mean that. Fine.
Okay.
Like, I think
this also goes back to the thing that we've also talked on the side of this, the time loop, right? Okay, what they portrayed doesn't show anything about the fact that Doctor Strange could have just literally done the time loop.
Sure.
With the stone.
Yeah. Tell me why Doctor Strange couldn't have just done the time loop with the stone.
I know.
He controls time.
And again, being a dead horse. The answer to all the why nots was summed up. And I give them appreciate for sticking this line in. Doctor Strange, it was the only way to proceed the way we did.
Okay, so
I'll drink that Kool-Aid.
Can't
then Hulk does the second snap, brings everybody back, and then guess what happens? Doctor Strange brings everybody from the planet where they were fighting Thanos on Titan to Earth to join in on the battle. Meaning Doctor Strange can easily transport and he hurdles that conflict of Tony Stark and Nebula getting home, so that was so obviously prevalent in the first third of the movie. Doctor Strange literally takes everybody from Titan to Earth. Whereas when they cut the motherfucker's hand off, Doctor Strange could literally have done the exact same thing. Bring everybody from Titan to Earth, end of movie. So how is it any different?
You're talking about a hypothetical. I'm just saying.
There is no hypothetical. It's the same exact thing.
You're saying if they did that, why wouldn't they have won? And I don't know the answer. It doesn't matter that I don't know the answer. The answer was summed up in Strange's "It's the only way to proceed," and that was the writer saying, "Focus on the way we're going to show you this movie, and forget about your hypotheticals."
That is what you just said. Rethink about what you just said. That's the writer saying, "Hey, so the way we want to do the movie, the way we want to do that, we have to say this line because we want to go this way."
Yes, and it would be reckless writing if they didn't stick that line in. But because they did, it means that they thought about it.
They just assume that the audience is dumb enough to think that we wouldn't be like, just cut his hand off.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we cut his hand off?
Because the line,
the whole movie on Doctor Strange and how he could do a time loop.
Because the line implies that if you did that, something bad would have happened, and it's not the only way to proceed to win. That's what the line implies, and I respect them. They at least thought about it and said, "Oh my God, people are gonna think, why not just do this?"
No,
I'll think about this line.
I can in the original video that we made about this, hopes and expectations. I said I'm good with it. I will drink that Kool-Aid because you guys are telling me just wait. We're gonna show you that this is the only way. The answer right now, but I know it could be we could just chop off his hand or we could do a time loop. Nope, not right now. Just wait, audience. It's like okay, fine, I will. We get to Endgame and they show none of that, and it's just exactly what we thought they could have done. Either cut off his hand or Doctor Strange uses the time stone. That's it. They just show no recognition as to why it needed to play out the events that played out. It had to go that way.
I know, but I don't have the answer you're really looking for or when you're
there is no answer. We disagree.
The point is,
right?
in the pre-game to Endgame, I said you're not going to get that answer, and guess what? You didn't get that answer.
Which is why we think it's stupid.
I know, but he was set up for
They had
failure.
an entire movie of a hero, Doctor Strange, who in the end uses the time loop to win. And you're going to then negate that whole strength that he has and power that he has by not having him do it?
Yes. Okay.
And that's what we think is stupid. Stupid as hell.
Inconsistencies. If there was one word that I could sum up with Avengers Endgame that encompasses all of our gripes, it's inconsistency. That's 100% Avengers Endgame, yeah.
And I'm going to be the disagreeing person on this one. It would be inconsistent had that line not been in there. For Infinity War, because I get it's an Infinity War, we're talking about Endgame here, but the point is it led to Endgame, and Strange said it because it's the only way to proceed. That means that, put aside all your hypotheticals and enjoy what they're going to tell you. And to an extent, you got to do that. I mean, otherwise you just, go nuts thinking about this. Why is there 4 hours to get to another planet? Why is oxygen on every freaking foreign planet? So what? Why does Tony Stark solve every problem of quantum physics in 4 seconds?
Why is English on every planet?
Why is English spoken by so many species? Like, to an extent, you got to let go of it and enjoy the ride. And that one I let go because they at least respected the audience enough to include Strange's line.
Fine. Why don't you let me know what you feel about the writers in Avengers Endgame telling us about how to approach, as an audience, the time loop, and then use your same theory and see if it applies to this whole time loop.
Just accept it.
Yeah,
let it
just
go.
accept it.
Go ahead.
This is how we're going to approach the time loop.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm very curious how you feel about Hulk's explanation of time travel.
Let us know what you guys think. We know you guys feel differently because we've been hearing you all across the country, but that's what we think here at PMR, so let us know what you guys think, and don't forget to comment down below and subscribe as well.